Hey y'all, Bunny here, and we are going to start work on the double page spread. Let me show you the whole picture of it, of the Werewolf double page spread in Mythomorphia. Um, so I'm going to be working with the Prismacolors. I have the 36 count. And I'm probably going to also use some Crayola pencils because I ended up having to swatch out the colors because I realized I don't have gray like I wanted, like I need, or there's certain colors that are missing in the set. So I'm going to have to mix different pencils in. But anyway, we're going to start with the backs. I'm going to do some of this is all going to be done off camera, and the backs are going to be probably off camera, but I'm going to do a couple on that. And mostly I think what I'll do on camera for you all will be the werewolf and the moon, some of the trees. So it's just going to be splotchy on what we're going to do. But I think that will be the best way to do it instead of constantly just a whole video of doing bats and a whole video of just doing trees. Because that would be, I think, a little boring. Some of these bats are going to be black and purple, black and brown. I did look up bats, to see what colors they come in. And some of them had like a tinge of purple and a tinge of pink and things like that. So I want to incorporate that into the picture. So this one I've already put down black and a purple, which I think is, let me get out one. I think it was violet. Yeah. And right now I'm using processed red PC994, and I'm just going to try to blend with that. And then I'm just going to go back in with that purple and get those tips. And I want to do it's just going to be random anyway. I think that will probably be the best way to go about this page here. I'm just randomly put in color. And I am going to apologize in advance for the wobbling of my camera because the table that I'm sitting at is loose, and I haven't tightened it up yet, so it's gonna move a bit. So I'm gonna just do light pressure where maybe I want a hint of color to come out, and if I don't, then I can just go over it darker. But right now I'm just going to put in my color. I was thinking I was going to do the black first and then do each one individual. But now that I'm actually coloring this in, I think I just want to put in random colors and then go back with the black. So some of them look on the golden brown side, especially with their bodies and heads. So we're gonna go ahead and add that. And this is yellowed orange PC1002. And I'm just doing this in case you all want to follow along. But of course you can always just pick the colors that work best with for you. Or if you're just watching this while you're coloring another page, then, you know, I appreciate you all watching and spending some time at my channel. I have my July finished page video up. I didn't finish as many pages as I wanted. I also really didn't realize that I had so many whips. I knew I had a lot, but I have a whip in almost every book that I have right now. And I'm still adding books, so you know, when you get a new book, you kind of want to just go ahead and start a page. And that has been my problem. But, oh well, I'll finish them. What I think I'm going to do is just hopefully randomly, at least once a week, work on a whip and try to finish those out. So this is my August color along, but it is also for Shalene's coloring book nook. She is doing August, and Werewolves have paused. So I'm killing, you know, two birds with one stone with this page here. So let's add one. Let's see where we at on this camera. Move this out the way. So I think you can see that. So we're going to do, I'm sorry that my arm is in the way, but once I move it, you'll see which bat I'm working on. And I was going to get a tripod and an SD card for my camera because I do have a camera, but the SD card I have doesn't have enough memory. So it only holds 6 minutes. And I mean, really, what can you do? What can you do in 6 minutes? Not much, right? So that is the reason why I film on my phone. And every time I want to get an SD card, I get something, or a tripod, I get something else instead. Because even though I like to film this and I have this channel, I also just like to color. So I see a book and I want that book. I was going to get the SD card and tripod, but then I went to the store and they had this set at the store I went to for $20, and I wanted to try Prismacolors for a long time, but I didn't want to really spend the money that I was seeing on Amazon because it went up. So when I saw this and I saw it was $20, I just said, you know what, go for it, because the 24 pack on Amazon right now is around $20. It was actually more than that. So I said, I'm just going to go ahead, and for $20 I can see if I like it, see if I can work with it, what it does for me, and then just get a bigger set later. So that is my goldenrod. And then we need to do a purple. So let's get out the violet. And of course, we're going to add black to this, and, some other colors on the bigger backs. So some of the smaller backs may only be able to handle 2 colors, but the bigger ones will try to get at least 3 colors in there. And this is Violet PC 932, and I don't like that. Can you see that? The number is already messed up on some of these pencils, so I'm not really happy about that, because I'm going to have to always kind of refer back to my swatch at some point once these numbers start wearing off, rub off for good. That's why I made the swatch page, because I don't have a swatch page for the Crayolas or the Crazy Arts, which I probably should, because those are rubbing off now. So this is the first one I've done. I'm gonna have to keep a binder and start swatching out my pencils. I don't too much care for swatching. I know some people say they love it, but I'd rather color. Coloring is the fun part, right? This book is reminiscent. Well, it probably I think it came out before Mythomorphia, so it's like a Mythomorphia in some areas where you have the bat, and this is his tail, and they're connected. It's like coming out and forming into a bat. So when I go to do the tail, hopefully, because I have the Prismacolors, I can blend that tail, the color that I'm using for the tail and this back, so that it seems it melds together, if you get what I'm saying. With Kerby's books, you have to kind of pay attention sometimes. Sometimes things will catch you off guard, and then you realize that an element was with another element, and if you hadn't caught it, you may have unintentionally made something a different color than you wanted it to be. Like, I didn't notice that when I first started it, but then I saw the line and I was like, okay, that's a tail. So I probably, had I noticed it, and I probably could have erased this and make it yellow, but I'm just gonna go ahead and roll with what I have. Ooh, my stomach's growling. So this video won't be a long one. I have some time to myself right now, so I'm trying to get this out, but I need to cook. And my husband is off today, so there's gonna be like music in the background. So I won't be able to chat because I'll get hit with a copyright message. But it's all good because, like I said, there's going to be things done on camera anyway. So this is basically just showing you all where we're headed with these bats. I will probably start the trees and leave one to show you how I did that. But hopefully this will be once it's done, a nice picture and a fun little coloring along that we're doing. I'm going to go back and get that color. And I think, what did I say? Processed red, that's what it was? Yes. So I need to write these colors down myself, or I'm going to end up forgetting what I use. And I could refer back to my swatch or just rewatch this video. So if any of you are into fantasy, do you like werewolves? Are you a werewolf person? Or do you prefer vampires? In one of the chats, we were talking about books, and the subject came up of favorite authors, and Samantha, I do not remember her last name. Sorry, Samantha. But I remembered your first name. You gotta give me credit for that. Says she likes Christine Feehan. And that's Feehan. And she has a series that people have been trying to duplicate, really, since it has been so successful for her. And I don't know if anyone, see that right there, this bat right there is connected to the werewolf as well. Okay. Okay, so okay, I had lost my train. I had lost my train of thought. I'm like, what am I talking about again? Oh, see, and that one's connected too, but that's the color I want those connected bats to be in the first place. I need to make a processed red one down over here. I hadn't seen any books about Carpathians. Now, I have heard of Carpathians. I don't think she came up with that concept. But her novels were the first novels I've heard of fictional Carpathians. Okay, so Carpathians are vampires. Well, they're not vampires. Excuse me. Carpathians are. Well, I left that bat. Carpathians are. Let's see. They're vampire-like. Okay, so they from the Carpathian Mountains, which is an actual place. Um, they are not technically immortal, but they live a long time and it's hard to kill them. And they drink blood, but they don't kill their victims, right? The victim is actually not aware that they've been used for a feeding, right? They've hypnotized them, and they can hypnotize them and just leave them with no memory of them ever even being there and what happened. And they are they mate for life, and they have a soul mate. So they tend to not engage in any sexual activity, any intimacy, until they find their mate, their soul mate. But see, I'm giving you the whole background of the story. So if I'm ruining this, I'm going to go ahead right now and say spoiler alert, right? Because I'm going to give you background and maybe it'll intrigue you and you read it, and then maybe some of you might be like, well, she ruined it for me. Sorry if that's the case, but you know, I don't, I'm not the type of person who minds spoilers, because you can tell me how something ends, you can tell me every detail of something, and I'm still going to read it, or I'm still going to watch it, because I still need to see it unfold for myself anyway. It doesn't take away from the story for me. But I'm going to go ahead and say, spoiler alert, Christine Feehan's Carpathian series. So if you're interested in that, maybe you want to put in your music or headphones or whatever and just watch me color. So anyway, so back to the Carpathians. They mate for life. So what happened, I don't know if it was a curse or I don't remember. It's been a while since I've actually read any of these books. But basically, they had a hard time with the mortality rate of children reaching adulthood, right? In particular, women. And I think it was a curse. They have mages in this series, and I think a mage cursed them. I'm gonna pause you all real quick, and then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna finish talking about the Carpathians and everything, but I need to pause real quick. Okay. So, a mage put a curse on them. And I think that's what happened with the mortality rate with there not being so many females. So that comes into play during the series. So anyway, they mate for life. They can live, they basically can live. They can live forever. They feed off blood, but they're technically in this series not vampires. So what happens is it can take it because the girls became so rare, and they have migrated to other places. It can take them decades, centuries to find their mate. Well, the longer they are without their mate. Now, what color did we use for this again? Yellow to orange. Okay, so the longer they're without their mate, the darker they become, right? So the act of feeding becomes okay. So the longer they're without the mate, the darker they become. They begin to lose their colors, their ability to see color. They begin to lose their ability to feel emotion. So the only emotion they can feel is while feeding, right? And they can feel violence. They can't feel love. They can't feel the lighter emotions. The women represent pretty much the light half of their, I guess you want to call it, soul bond, right? So the longer they live, the darker they become, the more the feeding starts to entice them. So, to be a Carpathian, you feed, but you don't kill. The moment you kill someone while you feed, you become vampire. And that's an abomination. It's basically becoming traitor, and they hunt vampires and they kill them because it's against their code, their Carpathian code, to kill while feeding. You become a vampire and now you're evil, so they kill them. So that's how the vampires comes into this story. They age kind of the same, except when they're younger, they age faster. Then after they hit a certain age, I think basically either puberty or as soon as they are considered an adult, they start to age less. So, and that's when all these things start to happen. And so the series is basically them looking for their mate, and once they find their mate, they have to claim the mate, even if it's against the mate's will, or they don't even know about it, because if they don't, they die, or they turn. They can't be with anyone else, so they can do it unwillingly. It's an interesting series. It can become bothersome because it is a romance novel and they have these ritual words they have to say. So it's repetitive, but still, it's a pretty good novel if you all want to look into it.